Dog culture is a civil rights issue. Dog culture is a constitutional violation, particularly the 14th Amendment and even possibly Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, treason. Now, that probably sounds pretty crazy, but let's just start with the civil rights part of this. So, we're looking at a summary from the CDC. Now, state laws will allow dog rescue organizations to take dogs from other states, but there's specific regulations, as it says here. Federal authorities are part of this. So the reason I wanted to show you this summary, because federal and state authorities are the ones that adjudicate this. They are the people that are holding positions, maybe in the Congress, maybe in the Humane Society, but they are holding positions. They are adjudicating this, and they are facilitating bringing dogs into your state. If you're in Oregon, I have a perfect playlist that illustrates this. So, for example, rescue dogs from Texas are brought to Oregon. They say as needed, but they're actually brought in as a profit center because the rescue organizations get to operate tax free. So it also says here the Humane Society coordinates with various agencies to facilitate. So, as I was talking about, it's various agencies, and most of these are government agencies, people that make decisions about tax structures and laws regarding dogs. So there's a significant amount of government organizations or organizations that operate on our taxes adjudicating bringing dogs into your state. So let's look at this thing that they're bringing into your state. As the CDC knows from our first lookup, dogs can carry diseases that can be transmitted to humans, known as zoonotic diseases, salmonella, campylobacteria, ringworms, and others. There's some really, really nasty ones, and they're also transmitted to other dogs and then transmitted to us. So this is not something simple. And the dogs that come across on these airplanes, many of them show up on the other state with these sicknesses in them. And let's look at some more things about dogs. Just bringing dogs into our state. What does it do? Well, we're going to need more veterinarians, right? Well, veterinarians have a health risk: physical injuries, chemical hazards, zoonotic diseases, also occupational hazards due to the nature of their work. Also, veterinarians, particularly females, the whole dog service industry is right now dominated by females, especially dog grooming. Well, they have a high rate of suicide. So this is directly targeting females too. And that's why this is going to be a civil rights issue. Just follow along with me. So, job safety is considered a civil right. It falls under the broader category of equal employment opportunity. Employees have the right to work in an environment free from known health and safety hazards. Dogs come with known health and safety hazards. Groomer's lung, for example, is little known. Almost everyone that I talk to about it that I haven't showed my sources, they've never heard of it. But it's like emphysema, and you get it from dog grooming because of breathing all of that nasty stuff that comes off of their skin, the leftovers of the stuff that they eat, the leftovers of flea medication, and of course, just the dead skin particles. But these agencies are bringing more dogs into your state, bringing them across the border like crazy, and propagating them and breeding them through dog rescue organizations. And what about just working in animal shelters? Same thing. Same thing as veterinarian office and everything else. Animal bites, diseases, dealing with distressed animals. Yep. And look at this. People have been mauled to death in animal shelters. Wow. I have a whole playlist that covers several dozen of these situations, and it's pretty terrible. It's terrible to go work in an animal shelter and be told that you're doing a great job for empathy and saving animals when you end up getting killed by a dog. Here's another little fact. Areas with a higher number of dogs per capita tend to experience more dog attacks. So, bringing dogs across state lines into your state, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're bringing in a known health and safety risk to your humans. So, civil rights. Do civil rights protect individuals from discrimination based on various factors? Age, which encompasses children and seniors. So, that's why this is a civil rights violation, and that's why it's a 14th Amendment violation, all in one. So, putting children at risk can be considered a violation of their civil rights as it undermines their safety and well being. Yeah, bringing more dogs into your state, propagating dogs. When you are a lawmaker, when you are one of, let's go back, when you're one of these organizations mentioned in this summary, the governors, the senators, the people that write the tax law, the people that write all the rules to allow us to own more dogs, even though we're already poor as hell, these people are violating our 14th Amendment rights. So, Texas, where they refuse to call or euthanize all of the stray dogs over there, that's where Oregon and other states get many of these rescue dogs coming in across the border. They have aggressive dog packs and they attack people, raising safety concerns in various communities. There have been multiple instances of dog attacks, including a recent case where a young girl was surrounded by a pack of stray dogs. So in Texas, they have a huge stray dog problem. Texas has one of the highest number of pit bulls that kill people or maul people. But we'll go over there in jet planes and buses and trains and haul a bunch of these dogs across the border. It's a civil rights violation. It's a civil rights violation to propagate dogs. So, now we're over here at the 14th Amendment. Let me read the beginning of this. So it says that no state shall make or enforce any laws which abridge the privileges or immunities of the citizens. So laws that allow us to bring dogs across the state lines, it's depriving us of life, liberty, and property. It's depriving us of our civil rights. Propagating dogs in any community is a civil rights violation. Just look up any of these things that I'm talking to you about right here. Higher number of dogs per capita increases the dog attacks. Dog attacks are higher on children and seniors. Dog attacks in veterinarian offices are high on females. Where are the feminists? Where are the civil rights activists when it comes to dog culture? Where are you guys at? So, another thing about this, read section 3, but it says here, given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. When these tax shelter organizations use our tax money to bring in dogs and keep them spoiled and keep them their bellies full and keep them on heated beds, then they go out into our community and cause safety hazards to our most weakest people in our communities, females, children, senior citizens. They suffer some of the worst dog attacks and the worst outcomes from jobs where they work on dogs. You're giving aid to the enemies of the people of your state by bringing dogs in. It's a simple fact, okay? Yep. And I know this Section 3 was written for other purposes, like during the Civil War and slavery, but there's no reason why this doesn't apply to us today. Our state officials that have all these levers of power, they're allowing this to happen. And so at least it's a civil rights violation. And arguably, it's a constitutional violation as well. Now, I get it that the 14th Amendment, like we don't define dogs as enemies. Like it says in this little short part of it, adhering to the enemies, giving them aid and comfort. Well, we need to start realizing that dogs are our enemy. Anywhere we have a higher concentration of dogs, we have a higher concentration of civil rights violations, worse safety at the job. Everything where dogs are highly concentrated gets worse and worse for people. And so they are, at some level, an enemy to the health of our citizens. So maybe right now we don't think of dogs as this right here, enemies, but I think we should. And anybody giving dogs aid and comfort, especially extra dogs. I'm not saying people need to go out and get rid of their dogs right now, but when we're giving aid and comfort to a creature that pulls away our civil rights, then we got a big problem here. And we can easily dissect this through the U.S. Constitution. We can easily connect this to civil rights violations. So that's what I got for you on this one. See you guys later.